Hey, how's it going? Let's talk about the stocks I bought during the crash. Because we had one heck of a crash here in the last few weeks. And I always like to review the stuff I bought. I send alerts when I buy things to all of the course members, but it's nice sometimes just to look back in review and look at where I concentrated my funding. And look, my point of view is when we're in a correction, you put your money into your highest conviction plays. That is the time to concentrate down into what you think is going to create the highest return on investment. And what I did recently, or through this crash, is I really looked at companies that I thought sold off over 30% because I thought they were going to rebound very quickly. These are also within my high conviction group. So, for example, I might have very high conviction on Apple, but Apple sold off maybe 13, 14%. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, the S&P sold off 4%, at a low. Am I really going to add to the S&P at a 4% decline or Apple at a 14% decline when I can go pick up deals for 33% off? It's kind of like when you go to the chocolate store and they're like, oh, over here, this is the clearance rack. Well, given that this is a consumable and I don't care because I'm going to eat it, enjoy it, and be done with it, I am going straight for that clearance aisle, especially if you go into Godiva. It's like, I want a Godiva clearance. That stuff's always sold out, though. The amount of time clearance stuff at Godiva is around, very, very rare. And it's kind of like in my high conviction names, the times that we have clearance on some of these stocks, very, very, very rare. So what I figure we could do is we could take a look at this spreadsheet, and first I'm going to tell you what my margin percentage is today, including cash. I'll explain that. And then we'll go in reverse order of the stocks that I bought. So we'll start with the smallest ones I bought and just a really quick snippet as to why, and then we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so margin including cash today. So the reason I did this is right now, because things are a little volatile, when things hit the fan and I start hoarding cash, I don't immediately pay down my margin. The reason is, if you start paying down margin really fast and a broker gets their nose out of joint or whatever and goes, that's it, we're not going to let you draw anymore, we're going to shut down a line of credit that you have, you don't have access to that cash anymore, even if you weren't at a potential margin call. So when things get nasty, I grab all the cash I can from all the places I can, and I go, okay, I got cash to play with. And so we've got somewhere around 2.8 that we got sitting around. So that I'm going to use to pay off my margin. I have not done it yet. That's why I'm saying here, margin percent including cash today. So, drum roll, based on my entire portfolio, presently my margin today is 29%. That's not horrible. For what we just went through, that's pretty good. Some of the recent buys really help because we get some smoking hot deals on some of the recent buys, which obviously, help because when you get cheap deals and then they go up, you actually reduce your margin, even if you use margin to buy them because they're more expensive now. It's kind of like when Tesla was in the 500, it's like, it's more expensive now. But anyway, okay, let's go in reverse order here. So the first stock that I bought, let's hit the, there we go. Oh, there we go. The first thing I bought was Airbnb. I threw $19K into this. So Airbnb is not a company that I've gone really, really deep yet on fundamentals here. I did an analysis pre-IPO. I thought, hey, you know what? I don't know. I might want to wait this one out. I want to see how the winter quarter goes before I consider going heavier on this one. Airbnb crushed it, absolutely dominated earnings. So I put a little bit of money into this one. Sometimes I put money into companies as a way to get these on my radar, so that way I can start doing my fundamental deep dive, because I am like a squirrel and it's pretty bad. If I'm not invested in the company, I'm less motivated to do a fundamental analysis or even an update on them. I guess that's just a way of prioritizing. So anyway, Airbnb, I like the stock, 19K. It's the smallest position that was really added during this crazy period of time. Shift, love this company. I've added a chunk of money to this one. I've really built this position out. I don't want to go crazy on this position because we're waiting on Wall Street to actually realize this company is a crazy good deal. I mean, anybody who wants to learn fundamental analysis, compare Shift and Carvana, and you're going to go, boing, how does everybody not own Shift? It's so undervalued relative to Vroom, Carvana. It's in the used car business, online used car selling. It's ridiculous. Anyway, love the stock. I did put a little bit more in during the latest madness. Xpeng. So you might have seen earlier, I showed my Webull with a bunch of these sales that I was doing in an earlier video that I showed. And I posted, obviously, I talked about these sales back in March 16th. I talked about them on the public channel broadly. I put all the details in the course on the sales. I actually did sell Xpeng. I think it was somewhere around like 46 bucks or something like that. I bought back into this at like $32, which is, maybe it was $33. But anyway, really awesome, put 30K in. This is a good one. This is a high conviction name for me. So now we're gonna start seeing conviction really start going up here. So Xpeng, love it. Redfin, very high conviction name. $43,000 into Redfin. I've got over probably now 1.3, 1.4 in this stock. It's a lot in the stock. A lot of that being gains. They've been riding this one for a while and it's just done very, very well. So I'm very happy about Redfin, but I did add on the dip to Redfin. I did add to API. Now API I'm actually a little bit upside down on. I bought this one from the dip from what was really high, but this one definitely kept dipping. And it is still a little bit upside down. I think I got this one at 72 bucks. But API is that infrastructure behind Clubhouse. And API is not really in the media right now. It's kind of fallen, gotten kind of like hidden away over these last 2 weeks of the crash. But I got 54K in API. Another one I really am planning on getting a deep dive down into, probably Airbnb because I might want to add here. We'll see. Then I'm going to go API. Want to work my way through some more of these fundamental analyses. I try to get a good, at least 2 or 3 fundamental analyses done a week. At least for myself, and if I could publish content on them, then even better. But the fundamental analyses take a long time for me. So, and I don't want to sit on the sidelines and not be in a stock either while I wait to finalize my fundamental analysis. Which I know is potentially just a sign of impatience, but that's what you get. Anyway, then I got 85K in Etsy. Y'all know I love Etsy. Etsy's advertising model is freaking awesome. They share the advertising costs for their business with the sellers when their products sell through the ads. It's a brilliant model to not only increase seller satisfaction, but also increase customer satisfaction by giving people what they want. Pinterest redirects a ton of their traffic to Etsy. Absolutely phenomenal platform. This company is here to stay, and I really think it's undervalued as for what it is. This company has so much more potential. FRX. All right, so Mike's Fitness, this one had so much freaking media hype. I think intraday it hit like $16 a few weeks ago. This had a major hype train behind it after the announcement that Disney executives were partnering on the SPAC. I mean, it blew up on SPAC day. It blew up with media attention thereafter. Obviously, then we went into market crash period, and the stock plummeted in value, which was the perfect opportunity for me to buy it, in my opinion. I got into this just shy of $11. It hasn't gone crazy again since then, but I'm happy with my purchase. I'm working on my fundamental analysis for this one as well. I would say my next big ones are Airbnb, FRX, and API. These are the guys I really gotta get my fundamental analysis in on, but you'll see that these are lower on my list. We've got, some big purchases over here on my really high conviction stocks. So sometimes I will make a position play before I have my fundamentals done. All right, let's keep going here. GHVI, love this stock. So I've got probably around 600K in this stock now. And if I had to rank these by size of portfolio size so far, Redfin has the most here. Etsy's probably right at about $1 million. GHVI is probably at about 600K. And then these guys that I haven't done the research on right here, the Airbnb, I've done initial research on these, just enough to feel comfortable actually investing on them. But like the deep dive, that's all I have in these guys. So I'll bold these. That's my entire position in these guys. These are sort of the new opens that I'm working on. But anyway, GHVI is probably about a 600K position. But anyway, this is got 118.8 in it that I bought just in dips here. I mean, this stock, it went down to like $12, and I'm like, I can't not buy it at these prices. Most of my purchases have been around $13.80, so I was able to lower my cost basis on this one, which is freaking awesome. Like, Matterport is going to change the world when it comes to architecture, insurance, real estate, you name it. Matterport's coming, folks. It's coming for us. Okay, so then we've got Palantir. Oh, Palantir. 124K into Palantir. Such a lovely stock. I'm really building this position out. I refuse to buy this stock over $30. People were talking about being excited about this running to 38, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I missed the boat. I held my discipline. I waited for this thing to fall under 30, and when it did, I DCA'd straight down as the market was crashing. So this one, I added a nice 124K to the existing position I have, probably in this one for about 400K now, which is awesome. Really do like Palantir. Very bullish on this one. NEO, another 127K in. That probably puts NEO somewhere around 650, 700 for me. Love this company. I'm not sold 100% yet on the battery swapping, but on my deep dives, this company is a competitor. This company is not only a competitor, but it's here to stay. They are innovative. They are customer-centric first. They're focusing on the quality market. I'm not convinced yet that their ET7 is the best direction for them as opposed to doing what Xpeng is doing and going with a less expensive car. But I do prefer both of these over Li Auto, which is technically a hybrid, which a lot of people bag about or bag on for. And I really want to see Li Auto mature into like that battery frontier. But NEO, hands down, one of my high conviction stocks. And I'm pretty EV heavy. I mean, EV is one of my top priorities. Maybe one day I can get myself, I can work with some biologist researchers and I can really wrap my head around genomics because it's an industry that's so fascinating to me. I can't wait. But that day will come. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. So then we got Pinterest. Yes. The beautiful thing about Pinterest is it sold off much more than Etsy did. So that's why I added almost twice as much to Pinterest as I did Etsy. Etsy I kind of bought pretty early in the dips because the other things hadn't dipped much yet. So most of these other purchases happened well after the Etsy purchase, but this is all since February 19th. Since I did sell stocks on February 16th, which, by the way, some people are wondering, like, oh, well, Kevin, if you sold stocks on February 16th, does that make you a paper hander? I don't think so. I think paper handing is when you sell when the market is collapsing. Like, if you sold stocks between February 19th and there were some green days in between there, you know, but like March, 8th, something like that. Depending on why you sold, I mean, look, if you were getting margin called, that makes sense. If you're selling for fundamental reasons, maybe that makes sense. But I think that's potentially more of like, you know, not to mention any names, but let's just say there was somebody whose name rhymed with Chamath who sold like $2 billion out of Virgin Galactic and just completely sold out while the market was collapsing. Maybe that's a little different, okay? But I didn't sell while the market was collapsing. I sold before. But anyway, that gave me the capital to go shopping during this time. But anyway, so that's Pinterest, 155. Then we got CCIV. I added 242 to this one. Love my EV sector, Lucid Motors. A lot of conviction here. Then we added Enphase. Huge conviction on Enphase. High margin products, high quality products. Really, really excited about these. And then, folks, the last one, the biggest, the most high conviction stock I could ever pick is obviously a company I would add a crap ton of money to, especially since the darn thing went into not only the 600s where I bought a lot more, but the 500s for like 3 days. It was in the 500s. Folks, Tesla got almost $800,000 from me. So, I mean, this should really give you a glimpse in terms of conviction prioritization here relative to, you know, how much in market value some of these dropped. So this was all between Feb 19 and Tuesday, March 9th. So we picked up some good deals. I'm very happy that I added to these positions. Very, very excited. I've concentrated my portfolio a lot now because I got rid of a lot of things that I just don't have as much conviction in. That doesn't mean I don't like the stocks, but there are some stocks that, you know, look, I have more belief in Tesla, for example, than, you know, some other of the companies that I sold. And that's the way investing works, right? You concentrate where your highest expected return is. And honestly, it would be stupid not to do that. So very happy with all of these positions, especially since they helped me also reduce my margin, especially, you know, the latest recovery that we've had here. And the cash helps a lot. I am going to get this down to 20%. So then I'll be really happy. Then I'll be ready for the next crash and we'll go shopping again. So anyway, if you like my insights, make sure to consider using that coupon code linked down below. You'll get 38% off. Join me in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group. You get my buy sell alerts, get my insights and my opinions, chat with me in the chat, the private live streams, or any of the courses also get access to the private live streams. Not the buy sell alerts, but also the private live streams. And folks, hey, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.